calculus class. This is the start of what we're going to be doing this year. Calculus is a giant subject. It is a difficult subject. It can be a difficult subject. But what makes it difficult is really the algebra that we do. And so that's what we're going to start with, is some of the algebra that you're going to see consistently throughout the year. We're just going to do some review on it. You've seen all this stuff before. It's just getting more comfortable with it. So that's what we're going to start with. The first set of review topics that we're going to talk about, combining polynomials. Again, a polynomial, you break that word apart. Nomial means term. Poly means many terms. So what we're looking at in this example 1, this first parenthesis right here, that is called a trinomial because there are 3 terms. Terms are separated by addition or subtraction. First term, subtract, separates it. Second term, third term. Okay, so combining polynomials. When we add or subtract polynomials, we're thinking like terms. Like terms means same variable or variables and same power of those variables. We can only add or subtract like terms. Now, that subtraction right there, that is what we are going to be doing between those like terms. So my first term right here is this negative 4x squared. I have another x squared term. Those are the like terms. We are subtracting those. So negative 4x squared, subtract another 2x squared, we have a negative 6x squared. Next like terms, we have an x to the first power, we have an x to the first power, underlined in red there. We are subtracting those. So negative 3x, subtract a negative 6x. When we subtract a negative, that becomes plus. So what we end up with is plus 3x. And then we have our constants. We have 8. We are subtracting a negative 2. That becomes plus 10. When we look at what we're left with right here, we have no more like terms. We have combined those 2 polynomials. Okay, adding, subtracting, only like terms. Pay attention to that operation that you are doing between those like terms. The other way we can combine polynomials is with multiplication. So this is basically a big distributive property. What I'm going to do is take the first term from the first parenthesis and I'm going to distribute it to the entire second parenthesis. 3x times the first term of 5x squared, we get 15x to the third. 3x times a positive x is plus 3x squared. 3x times a negative 4 is minus 12x. Then I'm going to take the second term and do the same idea. I'm going to distribute that second term to the entire second parenthesis. So 2 times 5x is plus 10x. 2 times x is plus, oops, there's a square there, 2x. Then 2 times a negative 4 is minus 8. I've done the multiplication. I've combined them with the multiplication. But what's left is to clean it up. We have a couple of like terms. So again, adding, subtracting like terms only. The first term of x cubed, there's no other x cubed terms. It stays where it's at. Now, I'm going to keep track of things. I'm just going to cross this off. I want to stay organized. I want to make sure I include everything, and I'm very careful with making sure I've got everything accounted for. Next term is an x squared. I have a couple of x squared terms, so I'm going to combine those. 3x squared plus another 10x squared, we have 13x squareds. Those are accounted for. X terms, negative 12x, adding 2x, that becomes a minus 10x. I have accounted those. The only thing left over is that minus 8. That is everything accounted for. There's the answer to that multiplication. Okay, pretty straightforward. Combining, adding, subtracting like terms, multiplying is basically just a distributive property. Sometimes we can use this idea of FOIL, but that's specific to 2 terms multiplied by 2 terms. But that's the gist of it. If you have any questions, please let me know either in class or via email.